This map first impressions video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Campaign of France. This map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub, and this map is available for all platforms. Let me read you a brief description of the map. It says, there is a place where everything is calm called Campaign of France. Grass is green and long, large, mature trees blend with the landscape. The horses neigh at the approach of artisans of agriculture. Wheat grows as though nature woke up. Welcome to Chambly-sur-Meuse. Well, that is completely butchered. And this map is seasons prepared. Go ahead and jump on in. And we are going to add a new mod to our standard mods review list. We're going to add the animal screen extended mod so you folks can see basically how many animals any of the given animal areas are going to support. Go ahead and pull up the log. We are loading the map up in new farmer mode. If you start this in farm manager mode or start from scratch, the farm will still be built out with buildings. You just won't own any land and you won't have any vehicles if you start in one of those two other game modes. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map. And I'm zoomed way in here, but basically if we zoom way out, so the big square is a standard size map. And when I first saw this PDA, I thought, well, look, we've got kind of river road structure built out. We've got roads built out way outside the map boundary. I wonder if there's going to be an extended version of this come out at some point that builds upon this small beginnings and builds out. Hopefully they keep two versions, the small original and maybe an extended version. Let's zoom on in here a little bit and let's take a look at the lands. See, we start out owning the main farm here and field 1. And all of this is $184,000. Then we have kind of the non-playable areas, including, interestingly, the biogas plant. I'm not really sure why the biogas plant is included with all of this other stuff, kind of the road network and the main town here as kind of non-buyable area that you kind of own for zero cost. I kind of do like the fact that you need to buy the biogas plant, that it shouldn't be free income for you. But on the map here, it is already owned in new farmer mode, and in the other game modes, you're going to be able to buy it for basically $0. Main farm also includes a sheep and cow area. We've got another cow area over here by field 36. We've got the third cow area by field 44. We have a pig area down here south of field 15. And the map description made reference to horses. I just don't see the horse icon anywhere here on the PDA. Map does have all of our standard crops available, and we have two main sell points that accept most of our crops. In addition, we have the spinnery for our cotton and wool. We have a sell point for our eggs and milk, as well as the sawmill for wood chips, biogas plant, since we own it at the beginning, as well as this particular sell point here is going to basically buy our silage, hay, straw, and grass. Then, of course, manure and slurry with the BGA. Start with a little list of starting equipment, but again, all of our fields are pretty small because this map is a very small subset of land as compared to the standard size map. We do not have any animals in the pens that we start out with, and we do have contracts available here on the map. Let's go ahead and take a look at that starting equipment. Start out with the Fendt Favorite 511C pair of Case 7210 Pro tractors. Our tractors range in horsepower from 115 to 170 horsepower. We have the Bison Super Harvester with the Z056H grain header. small 1978 pickup truck and the HW80 trailer. We have the raw Polymag cultivator and the D830 seeder. We have a pair of weights, and then we have our custom placeables. We have a custom sheep area and cow area. We have a small silo bunker. This is in-game bunker. We have a modded grain silo, easy shed, a sleep trigger, which is actually a bench. So we're going to point that out here in a little bit. And that is pretty much our starting equipment. Let's take a look here at the placeables and just see we have the ability to place down not only one cow pasture, but we can place down a couple different variants, which is rather interesting. So we have cow pasture 1, which looks like it's just an outside fenced in area, cow pasture 2, 100 cows, 200 cows, a large pig enclosure, 300 pigs, a sheep pasture for 80. That is pretty cool. Vehicle workshop trigger, put that down wherever we want. Large grain silo, 200,000 liters. Holds our standard crops for grain silo. Kind of a more rustic, easy shed here. And then our sleep trigger at the farmhouse. Start the map here, kind of just outside the entry gate. Got our pickup truck, and then our farmhouse. And here is our sleep trigger. We're going to come up here and sleep at the bench. We're not having to come up to the house or anything. We just sit down here on the bench and take a little snooze. Cultivator here, and it is nicely worn. So I like how we're getting this equipment kind of worn. At least the cultivator is worn down. Just have a vehicle shed. Then around the corner here, we have that old easy shed building. Really nice. Like how this has been retextured. Really good. And we have our silo here at the edge of the building. We have our dump point and our fill trigger. We have our 2 silage bunkers. More of our vehicles. All of it looks a little worn. Pretty cool. You know, too often we start with maps that have kind of perfect equipment and everything. So here is our vehicle workshop trigger. And then we have our horses, or not our horses, but our cows. So we have here the food trough and straw trough right here. The straw trigger. We have our manure and our water trough. And again, when I do these videos, I activate the animal pen extension for the purpose of just seeing if maybe the map author has included support for the water troughs and or the water valve and custom placement on that. The fact that this is centered here on the water trigger tells me that support is not embedded within the map, but of course you can still place these wherever you want. Back over here to this side, we have our milk trigger, our slurry, and then we have our animal purchase. You can see this pin here is supporting 200 cows. I don't see how. There you go. That little fenced-in area is configured for 200 cattle. If you're playing with seasons, do not expect to have that many cattle being able to feed off of the season's graze support. Then over here we have the sheep area. This will support 80 sheep apparently. Then we have our food trough. We have our water trough for our sheep. And interesting enough, the sheep wool spawn point is inside this little building. Here's the wool trigger. Then we've got kind of shearing shears, sheep shearing shears. there on the wall. So that was kind of a cool implementation, if you ask me, about the wool pallets. Let's go ahead and get set up to do the fly around. It's not going to take long, that's for sure, but it is a pretty little map. All right. Right now we are basically facing south. Rotate around. Right there is the map boundary. Okay, so obviously we have kind of some distant town scenery. We've got some distance field there, but the map boundary itself is right here, just on the other side of that road. The map boundary probably ends there at that double row of bushes. On up here, and we are basically just skirting the map boundary at this point. We have our BGA right here at the map boundary. And this is already owned at the start. Our digestate trigger. We have our digester. Of course, we have our 2 silage bunkers. Here we have our sawmill with the wood chips and log triggers. Map does not have a drivable train, but does appear to maybe have an animated train that goes through here. That'll be interesting to see. We can catch that. Got a sell point. Bit of a forested area, and then several square small fields over here. Clean these out and obviously combine them should you so wish. Vehicle workshop directly here to our right. Closer look at that here in a little bit. Coming into the town area, we've got an animal dealer there. Our hay, straw, grass, and silage sell point also at that location. For a bit of a town area, and at that point we are now at the northern or the southern boundary of the map. Okay. We make our way across to the eastern edge of the map. And before you know it, we're going to be back at the main farm. There's the BGA. There is the roundabout. Not a lot of forestry available on the map because, well, there's not a whole lot of space. We've got the pig area directly below us. This is probably the biggest forested area right here that would be available to you. Second little town. And there you go. That's pretty much the aerial tour. We're going to cut across here. We should see both of the additional cow areas. Here's one of the cow areas. It's just kind of an open area. As is the second cow pen, is just an open area. We're going to make our way over here to the shop. That's where we're going to grab our Mahindra and continue on with the program kind of at ground level. I have to say, I really like this shop. Shop looks really nice. Got our buy trigger. Got our customize and repair trigger right here. And then, of course, we have our shop. All done well. Done up really well. Not your typical shop that we've seen rehashed many times over and over. Got a fuel trigger back here at the shop, and then there is the spawn point. Go ahead and do a little bit of driving. Oh, there is the train. Maybe we'll see that come back through here in a little bit. First off, let's go over here. And we have, this map does have some, call it issues, but does have some problems with floating trigger markers. If you play without trigger markers, then it obviously won't be that big of a deal. You're going to find that we're going to see lots of floating trigger markers throughout the entire map. So right here we have the silage, hay, straw, and grass sell point, and then we have our animal buy trigger. Over here. That'd be a rather interesting area to bring one of those Wilson animal trailers into. Sure. Trying to make my way. There's a sell point trigger icon there. Guessing that's going to be for our milk and eggs, but I'm not really sure at this point on how to get to us. Let's see. Road here. No, this is going to be our wool and cotton area. Okay. Kind of tucked away in here for sure. And clearly this map is set up for small time stuff. This road is going to take us out to the map boundary. That's that. Oh, they've implemented the they've implemented that really short draw distance. Show you that no, don't go over here. That has a really short draw distance on it, so you only see it when you get up close to it. Kind of double back. A little pseudo farmyard down here. This complex, so these three fields and this little complex down here, $235,000. Check all these individual fields: 58, 36, 30, 36, 32. I mean, for the size of these fields, land is kind of expensive. 132,000, 97,000, 101,000. Check. So 44 is 65,000. That's the one cow area. 84,000 for 36. That's the other cow area. Pig area is $101,000. That's kind of interesting. Be a kind of a secondary farmyard down here. Secondary farmhouse. We'll do this on multiplayer. You'd have this area down here. Or if you just wanted to have a farm that didn't have animals, set this up. Be your place of choice. Always flashing. How rude. Guess this is just always flashing. Coming over here, I know this is kind of a dead-end road, but I wanted to check out how the land falls, and this map does have a fair bit of elevation change going on. Nice to see. Now we're over here in the southeast portion of the map. This is where our pigs are. And again, we have pretty much all of the trigger markers here at the pig area are floating. And the pig area is set up where you have to buy the pig area before you can buy the animals. So this is the delivery point for pigs. So basically nothing happened when I tried to activate that. Now if I walk up in here, I should be able to activate this. Let me get out of it. Back out of it a little further. Definitely able to activate this on a reconnaissance save. Not really sure why it's not activating at this point. I'm landed on the ground. There is also the matter of some bits of the gate are not moving like the other bits are. See them right there. Parts of the hinge. Got our manure point there. Have our water trough. Going to be our straw trigger. We have our food trough. Slurry trigger. That's pretty much the pig area, but again, I was able to buy these pigs in a reconnaissance map walkthrough when I was just kind of walking through trying to figure out what was going on, where things were. Now I can't seem to what I bought that. Oh, all along it's because I didn't have enough money. Now you can see I can get the pig. So that kind of just reinforced what I was saying, where you obviously have to own the area before you can buy them. Some more first-person driving around here. We're just experiencing the area. In my opinion, how the map author intends it. Have another sell point. Pull through area. And I'm going to double back because it looked like there might have been maybe yet an additional farmyard up here. Kind of set up. Well, it's kind of a grass field, but still, you could You could set this up as a kind of a little farm base of operations if you wanted to, especially with the new placeable concept. And of course, we're coming up here on the starting farm area where we all started out at. Oh, all along I was expecting that road to turn. Because I thought I was on this road, not that other one. Oh. Very well done on the map borders, right? This is the road I need to take. Obviously, when I do these reconnaissance tours of the map, I typically don't drive around, I just do kind of a little fly around. Here we go, the biogas plant. Again, we have our digestate trigger, digester, two of our silage bunkers here. We have our wood chip and log cell point. Under the train, we have then our other grain cell point. And then we also have a lime trigger. Coming back around, we've got our shop again to our right. This way I'm going to try to get across over here to these other cow areas. There's our train. Little tram. Oh map, somehow I'm missing these little roads. This is the little road we need to take to find our way over to the cow area. Here's one of the kind of open cow pens. And we're going to have to buy the area in order to make use of it. Oh. Out of the trigger, come back in. This area itself is supposed to support 100 cattle. Food trough, water trough, sorry, and our food trough. Look at the cows. See, this particular area does not support milk manure, or slurry. What the main farm obviously does. This one does not support milk, slurry, or manure. So don't bring your in seasons. Don't bring your milk producing cattle down here to this pen and expect to get any milk out of them, just because there is no milk out of this particular pen. Probably going to hold true for other horse or the other cow area. See if we can't make our way back over to that one. Other side of the river. Connect the little PDA down there, and I think I know how to get down there, over there fairly quick. Now, with the way all of these roads are laid out, I think the map feels like it's a lot bigger, because you've got to go, it's almost like you've got to go the long way around everywhere to get to anything. If there's one way to get to any one given thing, you can't get to any one given thing from any one other thing unless you almost double back completely. Here is the other cow area. We're going to go ahead and buy that one too. Again, we have our water trough and our food trough. And if we look at the cow area here, no manure, slurry, or milk is going to be produced in this particular area. Guys, there you have it. That is Campaign of France. Hope you liked the map tour. Got a little bit lost because, again, there's like only one way to get to anything here on this map, so it's going to probably take a little bit of time with playing to figure out and know where your road structures are located. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of Campaign of France? And until next time, happy farming. Be sure to click that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell.